That's right. I almost forgot. Take me.
How could you forget? And look at this, a jungle warrior himself. The
snakes beware. He's just gonna snatch him up.
Radiant team pick.
Clockwork.
And we go right from the shaman to the clockwork. So not a hero we've actually gotten to see all too often. Actually, I think we have maybe one game.
He's very good against shaman. That is just, if you've ever played support on support, painful matchup.
I feel like most of the clockworks I've seen have actually been in SA recently. I feel like he's maybe not popping off on the other leagues quite as often.
Yeah, so I think I cut out there for a second. But what I was saying is that with this overlay, you really see the glowy heroes, how much they actually glow in the darkness. I don't know if you noticed Underlord the other day on our opening broadcast, but man, that green, it stands out like a sore thumb in the Amazon trend. It's like...
It's not natural camouflage. It would not help him in these situations. Is that what you're
he's
saying?
like those little frogs. You know, he's letting the world know how venomous he is. And well, speaking of glow sticks and venom alike, it is indeed the Earth Spirit. He's got his glow stick. He's the Ravers here on Beast Coast. I love it. Look at these guys.
You know what? They actually look like they might be calling in an airplane. They're down on the runway, just trying to make sure we have a safe landing.
These guys are checking out the South American club scene right now. A lot of electronica music down there. I hear Lima's really popping off in the party scene, Trent.
Oh, they've taken out that Beastmaster too. I'm trying to think what EGOBOYS are thinking right now for this opening phase. I mean, some of their standard heroes, I guess like Mars is the big one that's still in that they do like to pick quite a bit. But they're going to go for one of those stronger meta heroes right now.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about this in the lower series. I think we saw Lycan a lot more in the best of ones in that group stage. We didn't see him nearly as much in the best of threes. So I think curious where they're going to lane it. When you see Lycan like this, do you assume mid or off lane or just totally flex?
I mean, I'm going to always be thinking flex, but I'm mostly just thinking you're trying to abuse weaknesses. And right now they grab the Timber got banned right away. And then there's already one decent single target disable that goes through BKB. The Beastmaster gone too. Plus, there's two heroes that don't threaten Lycan that much. Like if you try and shackle Lycan, for example, as Shaman, you just die to his summons. So your Hex is the only tool you have against him. And then Earth Spirit, kind of same idea, where you do like to get BKB eventually on the hero after your Necros and stuff. So it's not too bad. But then they can just ban out Kunkka first, but the Tidehunter 2 probably the Timber was already taken care of. So less heroes you need to worry about when you go for these bans.
Yeah, I look at this Beast Coast opener, and in a vacuum, I love the idea of Shadow Shaman and Earth Spirit together. Pretty synergistic supports. One's fragile, one's pretty beefy. Earth Spirit can get in the front line. Shadow Shaman's got push, a lot of lockdown, but I think EGOBOYS have two kind of perfect heroes to respond to that opener. Clockwork is pretty good against both these guys, and Shadow Shaman has options against Lycan, but I'd rather be the Lycan. You just put your Necro Book and your Wolves on the Shadow Shaman. He can't really kill him. He can't really run away. He will just die. So that whole, guys, I trapped the wolf with my shackles.
Yeah.
You'll die faster than he will. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, interesting that they didn't actually pick up this Lycan at all in the qualifier stage. He went mostly ignored in the drafts they were playing versus Lamb Defenders and Infinity and even Incubus, but the Riki was first phase banned every single game. And since then, we've only seen the Riki become almost more potent across the regions. So wondering if he's going to make an appearance in the second phase. That, as well as the illusion carries, are all still in the pool right now, who have also proven to be pretty strong at the moment.
Yeah, it does feel like we're moving back into a little bit of that illusion meta, right? Naga, PL, all feeling pretty good. Your CK been popping out a little bit.
CK?
Beast Coast? CK? What?
Yeah,
I'm speaking the language, buddy. I've opened up a Dota buff a time or two.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of info on Beast Coast, of course, as they didn't have to do the qualifiers. So they're fresh
should be pretty
on the
happy
patch.
though, right? He was playing Wraith King before. That shit was cool, and now Wraith King is super cool. I mean, it's the coolest.
Definitely in pubs, especially, but yeah, still very strong in pro games too. A lot of the times, as we've already witnessed a couple glorious games across the regions. But now another extremely popular hero, and a hero they did go for quite a bit over the past 2 weeks, of the Monkey King,
and cover against the Wraith King. Right now, they're kind of challenging them, like, all right, Hector, Let's see. You think you're good at this hero? We're going to monkey your dumb ass down.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, if you guys haven't caught all those games, Monkey tends to be very good at kind of just matching a lot of the timings of Wraith King, I would say. The Radiance is pretty good in a lot of ways versus Monkey, just because, you know, he doesn't actually have an MKB. But Monkey likes to be across the map a little bit faster and can really punish you on the respawn with the ulti. It's like free setup.
Mm-hmm. And Monkey's just good, right?
Yeah,
Like
Monkey's just solid.
Fits the bill. He's a Ricky-esque carry in that regard. A lot of damage, a lot of scalability, has his moments in the lane, and highly, highly mobile.
And they're going to have a lot open to them when they come to their 10th pick, too, just because they have the flex of the Lycan and the Monkey. Theoretically, even the Clockwork, they're almost certainly going to pick their 5 next. And that can just be kind of whatever. Might be a save, depending on what this hero is. They're not going to reveal any initiator. That is the only thing. So, like, Bat's gone, but, like, let's say they went for, like, a Legion or something along those lines, right? Like, some strong laning presence that allows the Earth Spirit to roam a little bit.
Trent, I thought in the lower bracket, I think I jokingly suggested Sven get picked, and then you and Bowie proceeded to laugh hysterically.
5 seconds remaining.
And that was just 2 days ago. So what have I missed? Was there like a hot fix last night where Sven all of a sudden got a little micro buff? Like I thought he was kind of bottom of the carries right now.
My initial thought is that they're either going to pick like Tide or Darkseer, maybe. Like I think they're going to pick something that either sets up for a really good Sven initiation, and they're just trying to use the Warcry versus Lycan. Like Sven was a every game hero, and now he is a counter pick hero. Like he'll probably still find his moments, and they've definitely gone in for a ton of physical damage on the side of EGOBOYS between the Lycan and the Monkey King. So Sven is going to add a lot of value there. I still think Tide's okay. I mean, that might just be why they took the Monkey King, though. It's just that like Tide doesn't want to lane versus that, and it gets really ugly.
That one's even worse than, Tide doesn't have a fun time. He cannot lane. I mean, the Monkey King just cuts him in half.
He does have a weaker support now, though, in the CM. Like, at least in those like first couple levels, so there could be something there if they play it well. But this looks like a Whisper Leshrac, potentially. Could also be for Chris Luck, too. But Whisper's played that quite a bit as well.
I like this, though. Something that can play a little faster. Now they've got some synergy with the push alongside the Shadow Shaman. So they can actually punish and take objectives if they win fights. A lot of stuns on Beast Coast. This is the thing I keep going back to here. A lot of ways to initiate. And once somebody gets caught, they have a very impressive CC chain.
Yeah, there's pretty good control on both sides, though. I mean, Lycan's the only one without like some disable in the game, too. You're right, though. Beast Coast is better, but at least neither side is like super weak on the disable for now.
True. I'd rather have Beast Coast if we were going head-to-head in disable, though.
And they actually banned out the Tiny, so another hero that sees plenty of different lane varieties, especially in SA. Speaking of Whisper, definitely seen a Whisper Tiny or two back in the day, but they're not looking to see that. They don't want that burst damage versus the Leshrac in the early game to just like crush his game plan, I think.
What is the last hero for Beast Coast, though? I'm having trouble visualizing this ideal pick that like enables the Monkey King and the Lycan, because both these heroes are a little greedy, right? They need that first item, kind of that second item. So you need.
I kind of feel like Viper.
Yeah, that would be perfect. You need a good space creator here, like Puck banned out, but somebody kind of in that territory.
The downside of Viper would just be that like it doesn't have any answer versus the Cogs, which can get a little bit ugly. But then that tends to push you towards heroes like Queen of Pain we used to see a little bit, but I'm not sure how I feel about that in this game. They might just end up putting the Leshrac mid, since it seems pretty likely that it's going to be a melee hero, and then they'll just pick Whisper, something else. Again, it has to be something that can do decent by itself, though, or has like a really good kill combo with the Earth Spirit. I still think Darkseer kind of looks okay. As dead as, I mean, they already picked Sven. Why can't we get some more like dead heroes?
Yeah, but you're kind of right. There aren't that many threes that can achieve what you're talking about against Monkey King, even with that weaker support, while the Earth Spirit's running around.
He's just so bad versus Lycan, though. It's like I'm seeing the synergy of the Darkseer, and I'm just looking at their own team, because they have like Earth Spirit and Sven and even Leshrac. Like there's a lot going on there. And then you see Lycan, and you're just like, yeah, but it's like a stun, please.
The last game I played before bed last night was Omni Night, so it's fresh in my memory. But like, is something like that too crazy here?
We have not seen him. Yeah, he hasn't really made the jump to the pro scene all too well quite yet.
But
at least I haven't got to witness very many Omni games.
that was my best answer. In that game, I had a position 4 Pudge who immediately first picked and then put his little thing in the jungle. It's like, okay, I'm playing solo off lane. How do I live? Omni was the only thing I could think of. So same logic here. And it's Veno.
Okay, that's pretty good. Another
right.
nasty green hero. Not the Viper, but the
Yeah.
Veno. They did ban out
Big
that Queen of
magic
Pain.
damage.
So they did have that same logic of like, we want something that the clock can at least punish at level 6.
I like the Veno a lot. This is a really cool solution. Somebody that can just plant in the lane, make the monkey's life a bit difficult.
The most important thing is buying space for the Sven.
Yeah.
I think. And trying to slow this push. Man, I don't know, though. That looks like a bit of a tall order. I mean, I do think Beast Coast are the more experienced team, so, you know, they know what they're doing, but there's a reason these kind of lineups are working very well. If EGOBOYS can get another hero that can, like, grab kills, like, under towers and, like, flush people out to try and get them those early tower kills, this could look really nice.
They need, like, a Razor type hero, something that can really take over nice and fast and be a serious threat.
It's always tough when you don't know. Like, I would probably assume at this point that Lesh is going mid, so I would be thinking that that's what my matchup's going to be. So I might want a range hero instead. I really like the Lina ban. I think Lina would have been kind of the perfect ideal hero.
I agree. You probably want to go ranged, but Void Spirit, something else that they could maybe consider.
Void Spirit's fine. Pretty legit here. Guys, I heard Kuro picked Void Spirit. That means he only has Mars left, and then Hoodwink when it gets added. And he'll be at all the heroes again. Yeah. I saw Knoxville with the tweet.
The first one.
Yeah. Well, he already did it once, and then they keep adding heroes. The poor guy. He can't keep up. But yes,
Void Spirit. The call from Valve. Kuro, we got another one for you. Her name's Hoodwink. Anything better than Void Spirit? I mean, like, Visage stands out potential. I don't know if that's something EGOBOYS play, but that's like kind of a tempo-y mid that sort of checks some of the boxes we're talking about.
Oh, that would be a fun one to watch, though. I don't think
we did see Grimstroke mid in our lower opener.
Hey, you got to watch for that, man. That's definitely a thing. They're going to take the Enigma instead, though. So,
we'll see the positions.
To be honest, yeah, it's still open to possibilities. Let's be real. We've seen Enigma pretty much go everywhere at this point. So it looks like it's probably Lycan mid then, is Alone's taking it.
Yes. And I don't know if this team is one where they do the kind of lane swaps based on player hero combinations, kind of like the current iteration of Liquid does. So we don't know for sure, but you're right. Alone is normally the mid player. Now is the position 1, and Sacred, of course, is the position 3. So
and it is the famed Whisper Leshrac instead anyway. So that is going to go into the side lane. It will be the Venom in the mid, which means that the high HP regen of the Lycan will actually be kind of nice. Versus the Veno, he can use the Wolves too. We'll just have a little summon battle mid if that's where we wind up.
So we'll let Bowie think about this, get his prediction in last. But Trent, game 1 here, what do you like? Can K1 do it? Will Sven make it happen?
I don't know. I like the speed at which they're playing here. Can I really go with the Sven?
I don't know. I mean, I would have said no if you asked me before this draft, but seeing Beast Coast take it, it is a classic hero for K1. He knows it really well.
I'm going to go with Beast Coast just because of the belief in Schofield and Stinger to punish when they try and get aggressive on the towers. I think that they have a very set game plan, and there is a pressure on EGOBOYS to go in there, and I think it's very hard to hit that perfect like window without feeding.
Yes.
So I think Beast Coast, with their experience, might be able to wait out the storm.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they can do it. Unfortunately, Bowie's still having some connection issues here, but if I could do a Bowie accent, I would, but I got to practice up on my Portuguese. We'll assume that Bowie would go for Beast Coast as well. How about that? +1 for the B-Man. Now we got some casters, though. You know them, you love them. It's Gareth and 1437. Gentlemen, we got to pause to get this one started, so please take it away. Let the podcasting begin.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, what a way to kick off Division 1 here. A pause immediately, get the players back into the game and figure out what's happening. 1437, some pretty juicy drafts going on here. That Venomancer coming out for Beast Coast. You've got Lycan, Enigma over on the other side. Are you leaning one way or the other? I know we were talking about this kind of Veno-Lycan matchup.
Yeah, I think both teams have a pretty even draft when it comes really down to it. I do think though that Beast Coast, their lineup kind of makes a little bit more sense together. Where on EGOBOYS, they don't have a whole lot of magic damage, and I think that's going to be a really big problem in the early game. Enigma and Crystal Maiden are pretty much going to be the ones who have to do that, and you know what Enigma does? He just farms. Not really a hero that likes to run around and join team fights that much early on. So I also am favoring Beast Coast draft just because of the synergy that they have.
Do you think that puts Beast Coast on a bit of a clock? You're looking at their lineup. You mentioned the magic damage, the physical damage. Sven kind of ramps up quickly and hits his timing pretty early on in the game. And then over on EGOBOYS, it's kind of like you say, it's greedy. They've got farming cores.
I think Sven is pretty much not the only, I guess, threat on Beast Coast lineup. So the Venomancer, the Last Strike, they can also do a lot of stuff in the mid and the late game if they get farmed enough. I think they have just as good as a late game as EGOBOYS would. We can also argue that Lycan is not going to have that good of a game playing into the Sven, and the Last Strike who's going to be able to kill off his summons rather quickly in the fights.
Yeah, that D push. And the ability to kind of bunker down on your towers with Plague Wards, Serpent Wards, all these little things down on the floor that you've got to try and deal with. Nobody here from EGOBOYS particularly good at killing off those Veno and kind of Plague Wards and Serpent Wards. Looks like a smoke early on.
Yep, I like this
right.
move. This is something a lot of teams have been doing, level 1, just to get that first ward out, and maybe there's on the off chance someone runs into you, get a first blood, but just to be able to de-ward that ward middle right away, it's extremely valuable.
Oh, the
there it is.
clockwork. He gets vision down, but the Stormhammer lands, and they've got no split earth. Body blocks coming out from a little Lycan Wolf as well. So the smoke not coming to anything for Beast Coast. That nighttime that they added into Dota 2 now could have been a juicy little play. They're still stuck on the clockwork, though. Another Stormhammer, but Whisper pretty far away, yet again unable to chain the stuns forward. A roll coming from Earth Spirit misses. They are trying desperately, but EGOBOYS give them nothing.
You know, it's one of the best changes, I think, to Dota 2. Just adding that nighttime at the start of the game, it just creates for so many different opportunities for you to outsmart your opponent, get some cheeky wards out or some first bloods. I think it was definitely something necessary that Dota needed.
Yeah, it adds so much more tension to the period before the bounties spawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely entertaining. 2 for 2 on the runes, it looks like it's going to be. No real contests because of that 5-man smoke, but Schofield in the mid lane does get the D ward.
Ooh, right on the edge. My goodness, that looked like the ward was actually outside of the sentry range.
Yeah, very close.
Okay.
Does return top though. So Schofield and Whisper, your Earth Spirit Lash up at top, and the Clockwork, Tano is kind of roaming around, heading in towards mid for maybe a courier snipe. I don't know if Clockwork can get it though. He's close. Not quite.
This is a very good lane swap right here with the Monkey going to the safe lane and the Lycan going middle here. Normally you see the Lycan the safe lane and Monkey mid, but when they see that Venomancer, they're like, okay, we can't have our Monkey have a really bad lane playing into the Veno, so at least we'll pair him up with the Leshrac. It wouldn't be as bad, but Earth Spirit also a very strong lane against Monkey King.
Yeah, especially when they hit level 2, which is why Schofield now dragging that wave back. And a bit of aggression bottom, shackles, and a few hits from Sven. Trying to keep the Clockwork at bay, secure that lane farm there for the Sven for K1. Where's this Crystal Maiden going now? EGOBOYS have sent the Clockwork to sweep through the Radiant Triangle, and now Crystal Maiden has come across as well.
Yeah, I just want to leech some XP from that second wave that was pulled behind the tier 1 tower here. And Earth Spirit also on the top side getting the XP where the Monkey pulled the wave, so Monkey gonna be a little bit behind on XP just because he's losing this entire creep wave.
Yeah, it feels pretty rough for him. And looking down towards bottom, looks like Sven having a pretty good time. Clockwork is gonna stop any pulls going though. Just drag that large camp away. And the great thing about having Enigma on your team in this bottom lane is that he's going to be able to farm pretty well, dragging that wave back with the Eidolons. Give the Clockwork a bit more space to roam around.
Yeah. What's really cool about Sven too is a lot of people, they're kind of underrating him because of his level 15 talent not having that Dispel anymore. It's a Aghanim Shard. But to be honest, the rate that the hero farms at is still exactly the same. And how he cleaves down summons, it's still the same too. So I feel like maybe he's just a really good hero that people are kind of putting down just because of those changes for the time being. And then maybe we'll see like a resurgence of this hero, especially with all the Lycans that we see running around lately.
Yeah, just getting more familiar and comfortable with the changes. Get those item builds proper as the roll top. Again, misses out, but they've got Whisper's Lesh here to soak it
he's
up.
looking
And
pretty
Crystal
dead.
Maiden in an awful lot of trouble. Down you go for first blood there, grabbed by Beast Coast.
It's so hard to play Crystal Maiden against these like Clockwork or Spirit kind of heroes. You have to really play in the lane beside your core, or they're just gonna be able to do that.
Especially when Maiden has no win. Oh, bottom lane, Stinger with K1. They are cleaving through the Eidolons, but with that battery assault going, Shadow Shaman falls. Thinking about moving forward onto K1 still. Sacred and Tano, though, not able to stick on him. And yeah, that's a Crystal Maiden without boots, without Windlace or anything, right? That is a Maiden with 280 move speed.
Yeah, he also opted for the Ring of Basti. I mean, it's gonna give a little bit more regen for the monkey as well, but you're gonna be pretty slow to your movement speed items now.
Trying to kill the Lash. They get the Jingu stacks
Fair
going.
Fire.
A good roll, though, and Whisper walks it off. Schofield stands his ground, gets frostbitten up. Might think about going on the Maiden here, but both Radiant heroes incredibly low and lacking that regen that would allow the turn.
Yeah, they're waiting for that Boulder Smash and Rolling Boulder to come back up again. Get that initiation for the Leshrac.
And Schofield keeps putting these remnants down, kind of scaring them, but a good leap forward. Whisper, no Split Earth available, has 8 stick charges though, and with a courier falling, Monkey King here is actually being baited in. The Fairy Fire comes, and Schofield, he's gonna miss the roll. Uncharacteristic start to the game here from this Earth Spirit. He's missed a good 4 or 5 out of his first 6 or 7 rolls.
Oh man, that was like a short kill too onto the monkey if he got that roll on, because then the level 2 Split Earth was gonna come out, and then that was it.
Oh, Monkey's gone back
Whisper.
in! He sniped out the Lash there. They didn't expect the salve from now. Very back and forth lane in that top spot.
Yeah, pretty big turn of events for EGOBOYS there. That looked like a monkey dead. Instead, it was the Leshrac who takes the fall. He's gonna come back to the lane with full resources, but the monkey is gonna be like an entire level ahead now.
Yeah, and he just leaps away.
Dire's top tower is under
We'll take a quick peek into that mid lane. This Lycan, 22 and 10, lots of denies, but it feels like Chris Luck is starting to get the upper hand with the bottle regen, the ability to keep shoving that wave as K1 does get picked off all alone in the bottom lane. Clock and Enigma just surround him.
Got that Midnight Pulse plus the Battery Assault. It's a lot of damage this early into the game. And Enigma, level 5.5, 2 nulls.
is under attack.
Nice. That's some nice spell amplification
Yeah.
on a percentage-based damage spell too.
Up against the Sven, it's real nice. A good bit of chip damage on that tower as well, but he does convert the catapult into little Eidolons. But that's always a good start for Enigma. Now you're looking at the 10-minute catapult wave. Maybe rotate a hero down here.
Oh,
Lycan,
CM.
for example, as Maiden. Oh dear,
She's
that
good.
top rune spot,
Oh,
not
no,
safe.
she's not good.
The kick back into the right click of Venno. And Chris Luck got the regen rune.
That was actually really cool, because if you didn't kick the Crystal Maiden into the Venom would have TP'd out already. Before the last right click would have landed on her, so...
Yeah. Just put him a bit closer. But
Really nice.
Radiant are scanning.
it looks like Sven is not having a good time bottom anymore. Ditching
Yeah,
that lane. Trying to kill off Clockwork. He's got a couple of
Nice
stick
cards.
charges and a Fairy Fire, but the Sven, already spending his stun, needs the Hex and the Shackles from the Shadow Shaman. A Wolf has arrived. Sven tries the Warcry, turn onto the Clockwork, and get the kill. Very
Oh,
tight,
the
but the
Wolf.
Wolf... Wait, is the Wolf going to get a double? Come on, kill the Rasta. Kill the Shadow Shaman too.
Radiant's
He's waiting
bottom
for it.
tower is under attack.
A few hits is going to take to get that Shadow Shaman down. Stinger just turns and kills the puppy.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally worth it, right? You got the Sven killed, he can't jungle, he can't get his levels up right now. This is a very crucial time for Sven to be getting farm. I think it's time for him to just leave this lane. Yeah, he's going mid already, and Benno's actually TPing bottom. So he's going to be laning up against the Lycan or the Clockwork at the moment who's just taking some XP. And this is going to give him a lot of space.
Yeah, I mean, this Lycan with Necro 1 farming through jungle, getting those neutral items coming.
Man, this Lycan, he's going to have like a 10-minute Necro 3 or something at this rate. He is absolutely enormous.
Like,
Almost
TP
level
bottom.
8.
Shadow Shaman walks a step too far forward, and they get the deny. The Eidolons remove the kill from that Venomancer. He's got level 3 Gale, but nah, denied straight under his nose.
Regeneration.
Quite impressive. From Sacred here. I mean, this Enigma has been doing a lot better than I thought, because Sven with the Cleave should have been able to deal with those Eidolons, but the Clockwork just caused so many problems. Clockwork, one of the better heroes against Sven too. That Battery Assault just disrupting his DPS output, since he doesn't have that fast of an attack speed.
Yeah, really irritating. He will walk straight up to the high ground. Radiant Triangle being invaded. Spots out a couple of stacks here.
Yeah, this is a recon mission right here from Clockwork. Seeing what's going on.
I've got Tranquil, Stick, Fairy Fire.
Ooh,
Nothing's going to
Monkey
kill me.
top though. He's in a lot of trouble.
Dying? Yeah, Lesh has got a lot of magic damage, pumping it in. Monkey King.
Oh, the tip back. I love it. I love the banter right here. Monkey tipped him earlier. Tip him back as soon as he got your level 6 and solo kill him.
The revenge tip. And now, Sven trying to defend that tier 1 mid, but he's incredibly low on the HP. Has the backup of the Lesh, but with Crystal Maiden and Clockwork here, they trap Lesh inside the cogs, and Lycan is ripping him to shreds. Clockwork's still healthy, and this tier 1 tower in the mid lane, it looks like it should survive a little longer, maybe enough for Beast Coast to come in and mount another defense.
Yeah, here comes the 2 supports. But that was really awkward from K1. He's really not prioritizing his farm that much and just trying to defend these towers, slow down EGOBOYS. He did manage to keep that tower alive though, but had to trade his life and the Leshrax for it.
Yeah, 2 cores going down, not so great, but the black hole bottom, Sacred and Tano, straight on the Veno. They do have an Earth Spirit rotating, and they pop out that Nova. Can Stinger and Schofield do anything, though? They roll and cancel TP of Tano. Damage is still lacking, though, and Clockwork turns with a hook shot. Back in he goes. Tano turns the tides. The shackles are there from Stinger, though, to secure at least 1 trade. But EGOBOYS, the turn of aggression here, while keeping their other cores farming, it is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the Clockwork especially, he's been making some amazing plays. He's level 6. He's going to take the Tome as well. He's going to be like level 7.5 after this. I think Shadow Shaman and Venomancer are going to be in a little bit of trouble if he shows up in front of them. Also, the Leshrac. Let's not forget the Leshrac, too. That hero cannot do anything into a Clockwork.
Yeah, and there's nobody with, 4 staff, no saves, nothing to get them out of the cogs. It looks like they want to pressure top lane. Veno, Leshrac, Shadow Shaman, 3 heroes which are exceptionally good at taking objectives. Could start grouping up and playing the map a little tighter together.
Yeah, it's time for them to start making some aggressive moves. They've just been reacting to EGOBOYS way too much. If they have to trade some towers for it, then that's what they gotta do. They're gonna take top. Mid is gonna fall rather quickly. Lycan has Necro 2. I mean Necro 3, sorry. 11 minutes. Necro 3 complete. It's on the way from the courier.
Oh, Clockwork! Speaking of him making plays, he's gone in 1 versus 2. Earth Spirit's going to make it a 3rd, but Tano is so tanky. He's got a cloak and he is battling through all of the aggression. Finally, the shackles and the roll will secure the... Oh, wait a second. Okay, pops his stick, but still does die.
Alon was thinking about it. He really wanted to pop his ulti and get in there and help that clock because he saw the low HP Shaman and Sven, but he didn't have his Necro books up, so just gonna wait that out. And now it's up. Necro 3s.
Now it's
Big
time.
bad Lycan.
In comes the Lycan. Stinger doesn't stand a chance. Threw his Serpent Wards in for the tower, but now the gap closed from Lycan straight towards Chris Luck.
Nice
a little
roll.
kick there gets the Venomancer out of danger, and the roll, you're right, from Schofield. Good play from the Earth Spirit.
That was really nice. Yeah, they only lose to position 5 for this big Necro 3 reveal.
And the shapeshift, like a 1.5 minute cooldown now.
Exactly. So it's going to be a little bit of space for Radiant. I mean, we know they need it. Like K1. Okay, I actually have no idea how he's so farmed, even though he has 3 deaths. He's got a Midas, a Treads, Yeah. This is incredible. I mean, this is the power of K1, right? This guy is a farming god. I know a lot of pro players who actually watch and study his replays. Quite an underrated player if you don't really know him.
Yeah, just magically makes net worth appear on the map. He is scouted though by a Lycan Wolf.
Radiant's top
Crystal
Yeah, they're
Maiden,
making a rotation down.
Enigma,
No
and Lycan.
shapeshift. But they have Necrobook though, and Enigma Blackwell should be enough to be able to kill him. Oh, look at that Star
TP.
Sense right there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That's what
Successfully.
we call Star Sense, Gary.
Yeah, he knew. Something was coming over that hill, and it was a scary monster. And he TP's top as well, you know, he doesn't waste any time. That farming pattern you're talking about, straight from the bottom lane, knew exactly which waves he could take, up to top and then into the triangle.
Yeah, but someone on the Dire team blocked the camp here, the big camp. So he's going to realize his Aegis are taken. Yep. They're going to have to deal with that right away.
Stinger, yeah, has a sentry now. Well, I'll get the D ward.
What are we looking at with this Venomancer? What's he going? Shivas? First item Shivas. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess against Lycan, against Monkey King, feels okay.
Yeah.
Not a usual item by any means.
Right.
as a
And not going
first
for
one.
4-staff. That's what I'm confused about. Like, aren't you afraid that maybe the clockwork is going to hook you, cog you, you won't be able to get out? I don't really see any 4-stars on anybody else on Radiant side. Maybe they just trust Schofield so much. They're like, alright, Schofield, if we get hooked, you need to kick us out of there.
Roll
That's the
in,
plan.
kick out.
Exactly.
Give your life for hours. But you're right, there's a couple of items coming up for the Radiant as the smoke from Dire, Shapeshift, and Hookshot. They find the big target they wanted. Wukong stopped in its tracks as the Magnetize comes in from Schofield, but K1, he can't fight through it. A Boundless Strike onto 2 allows Tana to move forward, and they've killed off a second one. Alone gets a double kill, and Schofield's now trapped and isolated with 4 heroes surrounding him. Doesn't stand a chance. A triple for your Lycan now. The Shapeshift and the Necro 3 come to play. And Beast Coast. I just couldn't get the heroes they needed into position.
Yeah, not only was that 3 kills, but they spent all their ultimates on Beast Coast, right? The God Strength, the Shaman Words, the Magnetize, and now when they're alive, they don't really have the power to be able to fight back either, or make their own aggressive move. So, EGOBOYS, they're making so many good moves in this early game. I'm quite impressed with whatever they've accomplished so far.
It's a great showing. And then the vision they've got as well. You know, you're talking about the Radiant not able to kind of strike back with their own smoke, maybe balance the scales a little bit, get that morale boosted, because the Dire, they're going to see everything they're doing.
Yeah.
Triangle warded, jungle warded. Nowhere is safe.
You can really see the power of the Lycan in this game. 6-0-1, top net worth, has been super active, very high impact. Now, I want to say that the Sven is just a bad hero, but I don't feel like this is a problem with the Sven, but more so of EGOBOYS just making really good moves to shut him down, especially with the clockwork. Just finding him, like blocking his camps, making sure that they're playing aggressively. They're not really giving any space for K1. That being said, though, he is doing well in net worth. 7k so far. Got his Echo Saber down. Building towards the BKB next.
They'll be really clinging on to that idea of BKB on Sven. That's going to be the most important thing here for Beast Coast, to allow them to fight.
Yeah,
Like
he needs that.
Venomancer, Shiva's Guard is still like 1,000 away. Pretty distant. But on this Dire team, the Enigma has Midas Blink. Working on a BKB of his own. Clockwork finds the hookshot on Schofield. Push back with the cogs into the Frostbite. Half HP Earth Spirit. Still getting battery assaulted. Tries to go for the roll, but it's really good maneuvering here from the 2 Dire supports, making sure there is no escape, while bottom lane, Chris Luck is sniped out by the remaining 3 Dire heroes. It is just non-stop aggression from this Dire team.
Man, EGOBOYS have some insane rotations. Not gonna lie. And
Where's the
they're
shapeshift
all
going?
just hitting
They found the Lash.
towards the Lash.
Crystal Nova Frostbite, in we come with the Clockwork and the Lycan summons. Aether Shock does a
the
bit of damage, but the Lash nearly dies to the Warrior, burning him alive, gets a Split Earth down, but Beast Coast, they're bleeding out. They throw Serpent Wards in it as a last-ditch effort. Clockwork getting whacked down by the God Strength Sven. No stun for 3 seconds, and this Earth Spirit, he's got a lot on his plate. Work to be done here to finish off Tano. It looks like he'll finally fall, surely. With the Echo Saber double tap, they get something, but it's just like you said, the moves from EGOBOYS are just faster, quicker, more crisp.
Exactly. I mean, that was a really cool play from Alone too. He brought in the dying Necro Book, and the Leshrac killed it because of his uncontrollable damage from the Pulse Nova and the Edict. So he took like 600 magic damage right there, and then boom, just died.
Yeah, gone.
That's where his HP just disappeared. It was really nice. But I mean, look at the network though. They're not really climbing that much. They are getting really good kills, but Beast Coast, even the Sven is now ahead of the Lycan in net worth. That must be concerning, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think the scariest thing is, though, yeah, Beast Coast, okay, kind of clawing back a little bit. 4K net worth lead is all EGOBOYS have. But if you go for that, one fight, you want to turn the tables, you want to really get some momentum going your way, you look over on the Dire team, it's like they have Enigma. If he just sits in the trees and waits,
They do, and that's gonna be a problem. But he's still quite a ways away from the BKB. That kind of confused myself there.
A lot of ways.
Yeah, a lot of ways, exactly. But is he gonna go for this energy booster first, or is he gonna buy the straight BKB? Because I think he's gonna need to buy that straight BKB right away. That being said, he doesn't really have like a lot of mana regen, so maybe he might go for the booster. If he goes for the booster first, I think Beast Coast has a big window to be able to take those fights with the spent BKB and try to win those fights.
I think he's had it queued up for a while. Let's see what his decision will be. Needs to get some use out of that hand of Midas, though. Passive Midas not doing anything for you, Sacred.
Gonna go for the tier 2 tower. It's gonna be the first tier 2 tower dead, but top we do have Shaman also dropping the wards. They're trying to make some kind of trade happen. I like this from Beast Coast, just like try to play on the other side of the map, force EGOBOYS back, stop reacting to their pressure.
Make your own moves. And it's a good place to be up in this top spot, but the outpost belongs to the Dire and it allows Clockwork Smoke to maneuver in. Looks for the Venomancer, but gets silenced up. The Shapeshifter's arriving. Beast Coast all surrounded in one area, which allows the 3-man black hole. In comes Sacred and clears them all up. 4 heroes down, and Beast Coast, they don't even get the Clockwork. He's denied at the end.
Holy crap. He doesn't even need a BKB. He just like finds the angle to get all the heroes to disable. Shaman already dropped his Hex and the Shackles. So nice opening there. Man, that Clockwork made some crazy space. He TP'd. I thought he was gonna die. He was all by himself when he TP'd in there.
Like TP into the middle of 5 enemy heroes. But opens a real nice avenue of initiation for that Enigma. Silver lining Theban, Sven, he was alive, he was farming, he has a BKB.
Yeah. They got 2 minutes right now before the next black hole to do something on Beast Coast. There's an Aegis up on Dire team, but it is a Lycan Aegis, not that important, I want to say. Maybe they should have gave that Aegis to the Monkey King.
Oh, Chris Luck. Yeah, Schofield and Whisper both backing him up. Venomancer looked as though he was going to get jumped on. Ooh. Unfortunate for Stinger. Gets the vision, but doesn't allow Beast Coast to properly initiate. And it is a full retreat coming through from EGOBOYS. Not a single hero gets caught. Alright, it's been very clear, decisive gameplay from EGOBOYS. Very structured. We'll see. The Serpent Wards, the Plague Wards, a potential push is coming top lane. There's a lot of pings, and that top outpost is taken by Beast Coast. Black hole in 75 seconds.
That's what they're waiting for right now. They do not want to take any engagements before that. They know that the Sun has a BKB. And Beast Coast, look at them. They're the ones who are going to be the first ones to go into the high ground 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they were pinging it like mad. And here come the wards. Try and deal with them. Better sustain there. The Guardian Greaves of Lesh keep them all topped up and healthy.
This Midnight Pulse is doing a lot of work right now, but it's going to end.
They're trying to clear through the Serpent Wards, and they've done a good job, but the Frostbite into Hookshot opens up on the Sven, who can't BKB yet. He's down to half HP, but he turns and slams them. Wants the Monkey King now. There's no Aegis on this now Monkey, but they've got the Sven. All trapped inside the Wukong's command. Ghost Scepter out from the Shadow Shaman, but sniped by that Rocket Flare of Clockwork. And it is retreat time. Beast Coast, what can you do? Whisper's Lash, I don't think you can stand your ground and fight this, can you? Stunned up by the Malefice, and there come EGOBOYS.
Yeah, didn't even need to use the black hole either. Dude, I have not seen a team bash their heads into the high ground like Beast Coast just did in like a year, I think. that was just absolutely insane. They just like went to the high ground, all 5 heroes are up on EGOBOYS. There's only one black hole on cooldown, and they just try to make it happen somehow. Fortunately for EGOBOYS, they did not fall for it. They only sent the heroes that can afford to die in first, and then the Monkey King ulti came out, and Sven really can't stand his ground and fighting that.
Yeah, it really was a brute force attempt from Beast Coast. And I guess in that kind of position, you're behind, you're against Aegis. Oh, Earth Spirit, what are you up to? Trees are destroyed. He gets hunted down, trying to cut these waves. But I think Beast Coast were making like the best of a bad situation in that top lane, it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, there must have been a better play. Crystal Maiden, though. Oh.
Found
Freebie.
by Whisper.
Yeah. I like the spirit of playing aggressively, but I really can't get behind that one, Gary. I don't think you can just walk into the high ground against 5 heroes, even if they don't have black hole up. And it's only 20 minutes into the game.
Sometimes you can, but you just shouldn't.
Exactly.
Monkey scouting. They see K1 and a hookshot straight through the middle of the creep waves. Found the strike with Wukong's command, but it is definitely awkward. Clockwork is the one that's going to pay the price for it. Trapped inside the Serpent Wards. And they do find Tano.
Alright, well, that's a buyback death right there on the clock. So they got 70 seconds right now. Just 4 versus 5. That being said, Sven did use his God Strength, so it's not going to last too long. And I don't think they're going to be able to fight after that. But knowing Beast Coast, they might just go anyway. Even without that God Strength.
If they had Serpent Wards, it would be so much easier to make that decision to, go for a tier 2 or maybe push out in the top lane. But a long cooldown there as they do make the play on Sven. BKB's turns, the Hasted Enigma runs away. K1's BKB wearing off in about 3 seconds though, and he's being chased by EGOBOYS. Leaping forward, the Earth Spirit makes the connection on the Clockwork towards the back. Now, with Crystal Maiden isolated, they do switch targets. Monkey King is in a weird place too. Now's in trouble, Freezing Field cancelled. K1 Stinger still trying to battle. Whisper gets the secure. On the Maiden and the Black Hole, it's only on Whisper's Lash. But I don't know if they can finish him off here. He's pretty tanky with the Greaves, he finally falls, but now's in trouble. Monkey King shredded. EGOBOYS have thrown it all away. Beast Coast come in and they are swinging that big Sven sword around. Down goes the Enigma, Sacred's gone, and Alone's Lycan. He's in a 1 versus 4. Looks like he's tanky enough to stand up near that tier 2 with the Necros frontlining for him. But Beast Coast making some serious moves.
Dude, that was actually so good. I mean, Enigma black holing the Leshrac alone, I think that gave the biggest opening for Beast Coast to just turn around and fight.
Yeah.
He can't be doing that, especially without dropping his Midnight Pulse. So a little bit of an awkward engagement from both sides, but Beast Coast coming out ahead. I think this is like how Beast Coast play, right? They do these weird movements that apply so much pressure onto you and forces you to make an error. And that's exactly what happened to EGOBOYS, right? Top lane, they didn't make that error. Mid lane, they 100% made that error just by throwing that Enigma Black Hole out. And now for 90 seconds, Beast Coast, they're going to feel very comfortable and they feel really strong, especially after winning that last fight while EGOBOYS and Black Hole was up.
And that's a pretty big swing there. We saw production just pop up the net worth graph for a second.
Yep.
From 8k to 2k. Now 1,000 is all the EGOBOYS have as the difference.
And once Sven gets that AC2, his team's going to be much tankier. He's going to be able to do more burst damage. Just Venomancer, we saw the Shivas in the last fight doing a lot of work as well. I mean, EGOBOYS, they got a lot of auras, man. Leshrac with the Guardian Greaves, that's pretty much their strategy right now. They even got this casual buckler on the Shadow Shaman to give 2 extra armor to everyone too. It's very nice.
It looks like they feel emboldened by the last fight, and again, knowing that Black Hole's down for a good 45 seconds, Beast Coast traverse across the map, smoked up. look towards the dire triangle where there is nobody lurking and farming. They see the angle of the rocket flare though, so they know that Clockwork's up near top somewhere. Crystal Maiden hiding in the trees. A great roll. What a perfect line from Schofield.
And they got a really nice high ground ward here too on the mid. Are they gonna go top or are they gonna go mid here? Looks like they're actually going top. That tower's already low.
Finish off what they started. Serpent wards, plague wards, Sven with the god strength. No glyph. Radiant fortify
Black Hole's
up.
too.
And they are just trying to pummel down these buildings. Enigma, BKB Black Hole does catch the two big cores. Monkey's in with that Wukong's command. The hookshot misses though, allowing K1 Sven to run away. Retreating as quickly as he can, but he turns. Stuns, doesn't decide to fight though. Leaves it to the Earth Spirit, the Venomancer, to magnetize and do the damage over time. Enigma has to TP home, but it's cancelled out. Schofield again, the rolls coming out to play. Lycan's gone with no buyback available, and this Venomancer is kiting everybody. Chris Luck secured finally by the rocket flare of Clockwork, but Schofield's going wild. He's in the enemy base. He will die to the freezing field, but the melee barracks is being chipped away at. Serpent wards, they end. Plague wards are all gone. Whisper left stranded by his team here. I think he was trying a sneaky one. Always got a lot of damage though, and Sven Stormhammer doesn't secure the kill though. K1's come back into a losing battle. Spiderlegs to sprint back to safety. The EGOBOYS, they hold on by the skin of their teeth. The melee rack still stands.
Oh man, when that Enigma went in, I thought like Beastcoast was just gonna get absolutely destroyed in that fight. But the Monkey ulti came out a little bit late. Then the Boundless Strike came out after the Sven popped the BKB and got out. So they were not able to like annihilate them at the start. In the end, they still managed to kill 4 heroes. But I do think Beastcoast is just gonna go revive and go back at it once again.
Round 3.
And Black Hole, exactly, round 3. 1 minute left on that Black Hole. Like they're counting all those seconds when it's up. And this time around, they're gonna have an AC up on the Sven too.
Oh, and maybe Aegis. 20 seconds until Roshan's alive.
Oh, yeah, they might just play for that instead. That would be a much smarter decision against Enigma. Having 2 lives.
It feels like this entire game Beast Coast are playing with... I don't want to say no vision, but... Oh, Earth Spirit rolling into the middle of 3. Gets the kick on Tano. But Beast Coast not wanting to commit too heavily right now. But it feels like EGOBOYS have lots of wards out in different places at the same time. They see lots of things, whereas Beast Coast have very precise wards for where they want to be or where they want to see.
Right, they're just planning wards where they want to play around next, pretty much. And
Roshan.
just playing ahead of that.
Half HP. There is this Aghanim shard on the Raster, but he's jumped upon by now. The hook shot into the pit, and the roll back from Schofield. Gets the Magnetines forward. Not a great one, though, and Sven has to focus in onto the Clockwork, but 4 staff back, a little bit of safety for Tano. Sven, Black Hole up by Sacred. There's the Enigma, but they've lost the Maiden. Whisper and Chris Luck just battling from the sidelines, but Aegis is grabbed by the Monkey King. Try and get now out of there, but he's being shredded. Sven is still alive, and they have this Monkey King in a 1 versus 3. They're all pretty low, and they are toying with the Monkey King, but K1 has a stun in 2 seconds, and I think they should have him. Now, you've got to outplay this one. Hook shot in. Tano's trying to save the day. They turn onto the Sven, but K1 trades his life. Chris Luck is still there with Serpent Wards to play with, and Tano is going to be like the 12th death of this fight. We've had 2 full team wipes in this.
This is second buyback too. Tano is gonna be so sad.
He can't go anywhere. He's stuck in mud.
Yeah.
He's got a pipe. He's got some stick charges. He's got a hook shot, maybe to the creeps. Ah, he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, that was a pretty epic fight from EGOBOYS. Just like trying to get in, get that monkey ult down. He's like, oh, Sven's gonna hit this Roshan, I'm gonna last hit it, I'm gonna take their Aegis, but Sven stopped hitting the Roshan. He went out of the fight, tried to kill some heroes, and that kind of made things very awkward for EGOBOYS. Enigma also getting that black hole onto Sven, but there wasn't really any follow-up damage from him. I'm starting to get quite concerned for our boy Lycan here. Feels like he's starting to fall off. He just dies. He just dies to like this Leshrac, Venom damage, and if he walks next to Sven, there's also the Great Cleave. He doesn't have a BKB up yet on the Lycan. You see his net worth, like he was the highest, but now Sven's about to double up on him anytime.
Yeah, Sven is monumental right now. That hand of Midas on K1, more than paying for itself. Looks like Satanic's queued up next for the Sven. Just allow him to stand in the middle of all the summons and heal up through it. Titan Sliver. Lycan grabs it on his way to BKB. And Monkey King's BKB is down to 6 seconds already.
Yeah, that's going to be really rough too. He's going for a Basher next as well. I'm wondering if there's another item he could buy. Oh, he actually went for Ulti Orb, and then he's switching up into the Basher. So that's a little bit awkward as well for him.
So was he thinking about Skadi?
Yeah, probably. He needs something like a Skadi though, I think. Just so that when the Monkey ult comes, the Wukong's command, you got like all these slows. Because they're having a hard time holding heroes inside of it right now. They're not really combining up the Enigma Black Hole with the Wukongs that well.
Schofield, in he goes to the middle of the Dire base. They do latch a lot of spells onto Tano's Clockwork, but this Enigma with the BKB, the Black Hole, catching Sven, and the Venomancer with the Freezing Field. Not enough damage, and the Veno gets his ultimate off. K1 just turns and swipes them down with great vengeance. K1, he's an absolute monster. Eats up the cheese, num num num. Monkey King misses his bound to strike now as the rolls around. Schofield nearly had that Monkey King in his grasp. But EGOBOYS have 2 heroes dead with no buybacks. Black Hole is gone, and you're losing your barracks.
Monkey King did not have a TP to be able to get back to the base. I think that's a little bit of a hasty decision from Enigma once again. They need to combo up the Wukong's command with the Black Hole if they want to win these team fights. But they're just not doing it.
It feels like Monkey's very tentative. You know, when he jumps in, he kind of fully charges that Primal Spring. He's not going for those immediate initiations, which the Enigma is.
Yeah. I mean, he was also not in the fight altogether, right?
Yeah.
We saw him pushing out top, and he didn't have a TP to be able to get back into the base, and Enigma just jumped the gun there. Monkey was like slowly but surely tree dancing his way back to the base, and by then, you know, your base is already done, and your Black Hole's already ended.
And you've got nothing left. You know, clicking on this Lycan and seeing his item build, there's something that amuses me about it. Like 20 minutes in, it's like Necro 3 AC, no boots, a Quelling Blade. It just
Two
feels...
open slots.
Yeah, 2 open slots. It's just like, it feels so empty. Come on, buy a Clarity or a Salve or something. Fill those slots up.
Our minds are not used to seeing open slots 35 minutes in on a core hero.
No, really not. Oh, he's trying. Abyssal Blade for him, queued up. Yeah, Monkey King is going Abyssal Blade too, so they're, like you say, looking for ways to control the Sven. Try and kite him and hold him inside the Wukong's command a bit better. Dire team playing bottom for the outpost. But they've got to come and defend their base because K1 Sven is on your melee barracks, which they did open up a good 15 minutes ago. Two side lanes of Rax down. Onto the tier 3 mid with Serpent Wards, the Shackles, catching out Tano, the Clockwork. He's playing this frontline monster, but he's being cleaved in twain by the Sven, and I don't know if he's got buyback available. He doesn't. Alone has shapeshifted up, so Beast Coast can just fall back a little bit and wait things out.
Yeah, they don't have Gosh Strength either, right? They just popped that for the mid-Rax top. They just want to force something around the mid-tier 3. Try to see if they can get some errors out, and they do. They get that Clockwork free kill. They're okay to farm it out just for that next Gosh Strength to be up again. He's also level 25 on the Sven. Went for the hammer stun duration instead of the damage. Very interesting.
Yeah. Panel was talking about all the stuns when Zyori's going to be happy, saying Beast Coast. They've got so many stuns, he'd back them any day. Sven just adding to that. And coming back to the point about the wards, you know, you see now it's triple wards from the Dire team, but it doesn't give you information that it doesn't give you a place you can play into. You know, these are wards that spot Beast Coast coming to your base.
Yeah, they need a better high ground ward, like somewhere deeper in your jungle, you know, the entrances to your jungle, so you can get like an instant black hole on maybe 2 heroes with your Monkey King sitting beside you, get 2 kills, and then try to play off that pressure. That's what EGOBOYS got to get done, but it's not looking like that's their plan right now. They're thinking a lot about just defending the high ground with their last black hole and Wukong's command. They're all inning for one team fight.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Enigma's going to go for Octarine. I kind of clicked on him thinking, he'll buy Refresher,
Refresher?
right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Probably need a Refresher, just a second Black Hole. If the first one doesn't do the job.
Oh, Penta-Edge Sword for Sven. Give it to me. Although he has really enjoyed these spider legs.
Yeah, he wants the boots, right? He dropped his boots for the Aeon Disc now. Got an Aeon Disc for the Enigma. That's a pretty smart decision there from K1. 5-head decision.
Oh, Monkey stunned. Necrobook is out, though, from Lycan. He's also shapeshifted up. He does have the CDR and shapeshift. Oh, Enigma's there. Black Hole catches three of them. The Aeon Disc from K1, though, but they will snipe out Stinger. Lashrak looking worse for wear as Whisperer destroyed in EGOBOYS. They finally find a team fight. But Sven, potentially with his Satanic, no, he can't get it off in time. Schofield now left alone, magnetizes them all up, looking to kill off Sacred.
Wow.
Schofield, he's 1v5ing. Get back in there, my boy. Come on, you can kill him off. In comes Chris Luck. The Venomancer arrives and Monkey with Clockwork. They're both falling. The damage over time is too much to handle. EGOBOYS get
killed.
Destroyed.
Wow, the Venomancer and the Earth Spirits, man. The power of the AIDS just destroyed EGOBOYS. Right there. I mean, K1 was just baiting, right? K1 just wanted them to black hole him, but then his teammates got way too close. Now you got the Leshak and Shadow Shaman in a really awkward position, also being killed alongside him. And then at least you got the Earth Spirit Venomancer killing off these heroes against these 5-second BKBs. They don't really have a lot of sustain.
I mean, look at where Schofield is playing right now. Just in the dire base. Get his Aghanims delivered.
What can I say, Gary? These guys are really good. They know their limits. They know when they gotta just push the lanes in, fight into this Lycan, no problem. I mean, EGOBOYS, when they're alive, they can't actually do anything. Where Beast Coast, as soon as they're alive, they can go straight to that tier 3 tower. And Enigma's Black Hole still down for another 50 seconds.
Or Roshan.
EGOBOYS have to push these lanes out. Yeah, that's true too. Get another Roshan, get another Aegis. Enigma's not really going for the Refresher, still going for that Octarine.
Yeah. It feels like that's the second time in a row now where Beast Coast have run at the dire base, killed off a few heroes, battled with buildings. They respawn and Roshan is alive, kind of ready and waiting for them.
Yeah. Jeez, did you notice what Earth Spirit's XP is?
It's level 26.
Yup. He's really, really big after that last team fight.
Second highest level. Yeah, I guess he didn't have to share it with anyone. Everybody else died. He was just lapping it up. We're, oh my god. A 13k lead for Beast Coast now.
Mm-hmm.
That is a massive swing. Just in the
Oh
past
no,
7 or 8
Tano,
minutes.
what you doing there, buddy? What you doing there? Looking for a bounty rune? Ran into a Venomancer, just standing there. He's like, doesn't even have a TP. Oh boy.
Yeah, he's done a little
You know he's
feed.
mentally checked out. You know he's mentally checked out after that one.
Lycanwolf nearly kills off the K1 treads, which he dropped on the floor. But yeah, Clockwork dead for 70 seconds. This just allows Roshan to be taken by Beast Coast. Maybe a last-ditch effort to fight around the pit, though. Monkey jumps into the Sven
Monkey.
stun. God Strength there, and Stinger's going to be able to lock him down as Schofield rolls back towards the pit. Monkey gone for over 100 seconds. They are chasing out of the Roche pit, looking for any more targets. Sacred not quite connecting the roll from Schofield, but they will be turned to stone and kicked into the midst of all the rest of them. He BKBs, but he can't really do anything else. Can't TP,
Why
can't...
did he just TP?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's no stuns through BKB, but
yeah.
GG is called. It's over.
That's why. That's why. I just want to say, in the last fight when they saw the monkey, Stinger used his Force Staff to break his tree after he got onto the tree. So yeah, that was really cool. Not letting him get away.
Well, a 7-kill deficit. Beast Coast 33-40. A really great comeback from them in that game against a spectacular start from Lycan, from the Enigma, all of the... Would you say